Having a great brand identity will set you apart from your competitors and can help clients feel an emotional connection to you and your work. Now, when most of the design community has taken on to digital media in this time of coronavirus, what happens to the good old ways of getting published, networking, and expanding your brand and business? The big question is, how do you make sure your branding efforts are being seen? I spoke to 3 exceptional Indian designers and house professionals who are excelling in establishing their brands. Nishita Kamdar of Studio Nishita Kamdar, Prashant Chauhan from Zero Nine, and Sanjit Singh from the eponymous design house shared their tried and tested tips. Join in. Welcome to our wonderful panelists, and thank you for joining us. My first question is to all of you. You've been quite active on online platforms, including House, even much before COVID. What did you all do to build your presence online? Can I start with you, Prashant?
Okay, sure. First of all, thank you for having us. And today we are living in a digital world. And I personally feel that having your portfolio out there is having a speaker for you, having a brand ambassador for you. And I think House is the perfect brand ambassador because a lot of homeowners kind of log on to House. And of course, there are other platforms too. So the minute you put yourself up there and out there, people start noticing you, people start connecting with you, people start relating with you. I think somewhere, yes, it really helps build your brand. It really helps you to be out there. It helps you to communicate and really, get in touch with all these prospective clients, I would say.
Sure. Nishita, what were, say, some specific things that you did, for being online?
So I think the entire kind of surge of the social media and the hype started pretty much like 5 to 6 years back. And that's pretty much when I started my own practice. So very rightfully, I'd say like I'm almost like a product of social media, I've pretty much grown through that, for me, like the offline medium was very different at that point, and the meaning of it was very different. So from the very beginning, it was important to create a brand for yourself and your identity. So, from every single move you make on social media to every single post you put on social media became very crucial and very important. So yes, we've always kind of curated and been very specific about what we put on our design page. It has to be things that inspire people. It has to be, things that it's like a reflection of yourself. So people should be able to identify with what you're putting up.
It goes without saying that it has helped us tremendously. Though we were a little late in joining the bandwagon, like our social media started about 2.5 years ago. But it's been an important part of our brand building and it continues to be so. You can't exist in a vacuum. It's your portfolio that's out there for people to view and review. And the reach is insane. Even though I love a print issue, but, the shelf life of the content is pretty much limited to the magazine lying in a salon or your doctor's waiting area. After that, it's gone. But once, you put your stuff out online, it's out there forever. It's a continuous message of your brand aesthetics. When you see that ostrich feather, sort of piece that Prashant has used, it's kind of become an identity, of his aesthetics. And same with Nishita, her interesting play of geometry. So, it's also kind of, it helps building confidence and trust in clients. And, the clients look for this. And one important thing, what I feel is a lot of clients are not constantly on social media following interior designers.
Yeah.
They only start looking for you when they have to build a house. So that's when they start researching and, that's where, the play of online content comes into play.
Right. Well said. That was interesting. Nishita, coming back to you and a specific question for you. What if you were to pick 2 definite musts for curating, your online presence, 2 things that has helped give your brand and a business an edge, what would those things be?
So do you mean just for online presence?
Just for online presence.
So one would definitely be to put up very original content and give credits if you've put up somebody else's pictures. There's a very fine line between ethics, when it comes to social, anything digital, it's so easy to copy. It's so easy to, reach and access people. And also I think really put yourself all out there. I am extremely unabashed about this. I I have put myself in every single platform that you'd see. And Preeti, I think I've told you this 100 times that you have no idea how important House has been for me. You know, I have got several projects just from House, and I think you guys were the first ones that I actually put up my work. You guys were the first portal that I actually put up my work on, and I've got real projects from House. It's not just inquiries. I've got, I think, around 4 projects that are live. Some that are over. People from America have called me up. Clients from America have called me up saying, you know, we have a home in India. Can you do it? And we signed on through House, and I think it's amazing. So really put yourselves out there. You have a platform like this, which, you know, our seniors didn't have. So just make the correct use of it.
You know, just a little digression, but it was just so nice to see you were actually one of the initial kind of, you know, very interesting firms. Suddenly, you know, here comes this fresh breath of fantastic work, and it's kind of there for us to, you know, to bring into our stories and etc. and all of that. So you were one of the first ones to be on House. That was great. Prashant, the question to you, you know, I've specifically, and we've had conversations about this before, but I've specifically noticed your photography is wonderful. You know, that's actually one of the you know, few things that kind of caught my eye when I saw your work on our site as well. Why is this so important for design professionals?
I think we have a very visual language, as in, for example, the bankers would always speak in numbers, the engineers would always speak in a certain manner. We always speak in visuals. So our entire language is visual. And how else would you communicate a good, strong visual apart from photograph and graphics? So I think both photography and graphics has been really a very important part of our journey as well. Especially with my keen interest in photography, I have been very difficult with photographers because I literally carefully study the site. I understand that this particular time, at this particular moment, we will get this quality of light. And this is where I want my picture to be this. So that study, that careful study of how you're pursuing your space, because eventually it is your concept, it is your space, it is something that you are designing. A lot of my friends, they feel that why should I document it, you know? So I always kind of try and tell them to just do it for once, you know, because the first time you might not do it right. The second time you might improve. The third time you might do a little more better than what you did the previous 2 times. The 4th time, the 5th time, and the 6th time is sure going to be a lot of learning out of your previous experiences of photo shoot of a documentation, you know. So I think the first step is really important. So do not hesitate, just go for it, get a good shoot done, and I think that really adds up to the portfolio, adds up to your you know, overall digital presence, your I would even say offline presence. I would not just limit it to online presence, because you know, we have been using these photographs for even creating interesting festive greetings and stuff like that. So it kind of really goes a long way. So personally, you should just identify that one good photographer and definitely document your work. Just do not hesitate.
Sure. Sanjay, just a little different direction. If I could ask you, what are the offline efforts that have helped you grow your business, you know, on the ground? What would you recommend for others?
So I think the first step I would say is, you know, do not get out there till you're ready, you know, because once you're out there, there's no sort of turning back. And as I told you, like, we started the sort of the online thing pretty late. The reason was because I moved back to India around 2011. I set up my studio in 2012. And up until, like, I think if I had about 5 to 6 years of, you know, data that I'd done over the years, is when I felt I'm ready to go out. You know, you have to be ready with everything, like, be it your branding, to your website, to your, you know, Insta handle, to your various other platforms like House itself. You know, the message you send out there basically is a reflection of who you are. And if it's not ready, you know, and basically what I'm trying to say is that a lot of homework goes into all of this. So every offline effort that we do eventually leads to online. You know, you have to realize that you can't do also, like, you know, you have to realize that you can't do everything on your own. You have to have a team ready. Now, it's not necessary that the team has to be on your payroll, but you do need people, like we were talking about photographers. So the consistency of your work is very important. I personally feel like, we've stuck with these only 1 or 2 photographers to document our work, because when it goes out there on social media or any other platform, your work has to look consistent.
Nishita, same question to you. On-ground efforts, what is it that you feel that you've kind of successfully done to help your brand?
I think I can't stress more that there is nothing more important than the than the offline methods that you choose, which actually make a place for you, in this industry. So for me, at least, I think a couple of things that we really did from the beginning was we participated in like every single design competition that we could and we found online. And I think it's really important to do that as a young designer. It's not about competing. Honestly, it's about seeing where your work lies with respect to what's going on in the industry. It gives you a good parameter to, judge yourself. That was one place where you also get to meet a lot of designers. And that's where I met Prashant for my very first competition that I was part of. I lost the competition to Prashant, but yeah, we've hung around, we stuck around since then. So I think, yeah, be there, take part in every single competition that you find. Design awards, those are great places to meet people from the fraternity, vendors, and even people from the media homes who you can connect with later on. Another thing that I also do a lot is don't say no to event invitations. A lot of vendors invite you for their store openings or a product launch, or media homes are inviting you for events that they're organizing, but I make sure that I'm attending each and every one of them. I know it takes time and effort to do that, but I think it's really important to do that, because once people get to know you is when, they'll start respecting you. They'll start, approaching you the next time they want something. I also teach in college, and I think for me, that's been a great way to be grounded and just be associated with the more academic part of architecture. That's where I meet a lot. I also get to meet faculty who taught me, and it's just kind of good to be grounded, I guess, because social media really puts you on a pedestal so high up, and like we all know, it's such a temporary kind of space.
Prashant, a question for you. In your experience, what do you recommend others do to kind of extend their geographical reach and amplify exposure of one's brand to potential clients?
I would say reach out for sure, and reach out in a manner where you, in fact, all of these apps and all of these platforms do have a reaching alternative where you can actually start picking up geographically where you want to land yourself, where you want to be visible, where you want to be be seen. So House definitely reaches the best parts of India. I think the best part of India is right now for us is the 2-tier and 3-tier cities. And I would say that's where House has reached us. Apart from that, House has also reached us to a lot of international international platform, especially when a couple of our projects were picked up by not just as in when they were posted on House India, they were also parallelly picked up by House France, House Italy, House Germany, House Spain, House. I mean, a huge. I mean, I would every day, almost every alternate day, I would see House has reposted your project, House this has so it would be a fantastic thing. I would say definitely just be out there. There is Google where you can kind of multiply yourself. There is of course Instagram and Facebook. But when it comes to specifically homeowners, I think portals like House really define, because as Sanjit rightly said, they start looking for you only when they are in that frame of mind that yes, I want to have a home of my own, or I want to have a space of my own. So that is, they start looking for it. So, and since you're geographically out there everywhere, literally, because I am getting inquiries from smallest towns to 2-tier cities to even abroad, I would say. I mean, Dubai and Oman as well. of course, we've got a couple of orders from House just for a piece. I mean, we had designed a customized piece, which was an elephant head. And we've got orders from UK, US, and Canada just to make those pieces and, ship it to them.
Sanjay, to ask you a question, word of mouth feedback and testimonials has always been one of the best marketing tools. Most businesses depend on that. I know you're very active, your profile is very active on House as far as testimonials is concerned. What significance do testimonials take on when one moves, more and more into an online world? We don't have that kind of comfort of, one-to-one kind of networking and all of that. So how significant do these become then, in your view?
I would say it's very, very, very important because, customer today is very well informed. They can find you anywhere. But, we live in a golden age where, where we can talk to our audience through multiple mediums, starting from House itself. Again, as, like Prashant and I have mentioned earlier, that, customers start to look out for you when they start building their house. And, you can't ignore these mediums because they're very, I'd like to sort of, what we do is we do selectively. You've got to be a little intelligent about how and where you ask your customers to review on, because telling them to review on a platform like Instagram is kind of silly. They're not going to go through the posts on comments on every post. So House has played a really, really important role. And I'll also try to explain it to you in a very small sort of an incident that happened where we were approached for a project, and the client really liked our sensibility, but somebody else was also pitching for that project. And funnily enough, that person pitching for that project used our photos to show to the client that, this is our work. And the lady kind of got confused, and then she started to research online, and she she found out that, the project that brought her to us, we had reviews on that particular project as well. So, these kind of things really help us.
What are your thoughts on, how do you look at the matter of business generation from online platforms like House and others generally? What have your experiences been like?
So I think, I don't know why there's this certain section of people who are so averse to using social media, and they only have very unpleasant things to say. I think if you use it wisely, if you use it correctly, it can really be extremely beneficial. We've been generating so much work just out of Instagram posts that we've been putting up, just because of the projects we've been putting up, Preeti. And I've told you that I've got projects through House, which is amazing. The very first year that we started, we put up a project there, and we had one project that we were riding on House, and I've got almost 15 to 20 inquiries just through that. Currently, we are doing an incredible architectural bungalow in Bangalore from a client who lives in America, saw us on House and just called us up saying that I can't be there in Bangalore, but I'm sitting in America. I saw your work on House. I loved it. Just do it. And we're doing it. So it's a magical story, really.
Wonderful. Prashant, you were talking about inquiries earlier. Would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, exactly. So even I would want to add that, yes, there has been a lot of inquiries, definitely. I would not say every inquiry kind of turns into a project purely because of maybe budget constraints or maybe some sort of a disconnect. But definitely, yes, that inquiry itself means a lot because that definitely means that you are doing something right. Mm-hmm. Out there, you are doing something right, and you have gathered enough of attention. And a lot of clients would eventually come up with a very luxury project, and they would think that they would be able to manage that in a budget project. So that's where the disconnect happens. So maybe on House we should have some sort of a budget range categories as well, so that it kind of just defines your bracket as well.
Sure. So last question to you all. It's a little kind of a different kind of question. I've asked you what all one must do, a design professional should do to stand out. But what all do you think a design professional shouldn't do, as far as building one's online presence is concerned? Maybe one point each, something that comes to your mind. Okay. Nishita?
I think definitely I'd go back to what I said before. There's such a fine line between ethics on social media. It's very easy to cut, copy, paste somebody else's information. If you're putting up a work, just give credit to that person.
Right. Sanjit?
I would just say push your boundaries, be bold. Replicating a booth from Milan or Paris is not design. Just build your own identity, and you don't need to play safe.
Right. Prashant, what about you?
I would strongly recommend not to copy work. I mean, not to just replicate things what you've already seen on digital world, because it's these days very easy to do that, and create something which is of your own, because that is going to take you a real long way.
Thank you all for watching. With this episode, our series on architecture and design resilience comes to an end. Over these last 3 shows, we have discovered how the Indian design community is finding its own solutions in not only surviving but also thriving amidst a new normal. Thanks for joining us.